Hello and welcome to Behind the Belt bonus episode, which is going to be audio only. We just did our episode 4, which you can check it out on our Spotify and our YouTube channel. In this episode, we're going to talk about WWE UNREAL on Netflix, a new documentary that just dropped a few days ago. It's going viral on social media. People have different thoughts about it, mostly people liking it. Logan has watched a few episodes. I've watched a couple. We're going to discuss. We'll start off with you, Logan. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, Faraz. How about yourself?
I'm good as well. What are your thoughts, initial thoughts on the show?
Yeah, so obviously there was a lot of talk about this series, this docu-series going into it. Kind of, we've never seen the curtain being pulled back quite like this on WWE or anything WWE related. So I was very skeptical at first, but after watching it, man, what an absolutely incredible series. This did not do any of those things, in my opinion, that a lot of people were concerned about in terms of bringing the curtain back too far, letting the people in too far. I am personally in the boat of I love to see kind of how things are made, especially in the program that we're in, getting to see all this behind the scenes stuff was absolutely incredible. I think it really did a great job at touching upon storylines that maybe I didn't think were the best and the reasons why they weren't the best, or just overall, I really, really enjoyed this series. I thought that it did exactly what it needed to do and allowed people who maybe weren't the biggest WWE fans or wrestling fans to kind of see behind the business and get a better understanding of it. What was your thoughts for us?
I agree with you. I think it's a really good documentary. It's a well-made documentary. I had no idea and I had no clue that it was going to be this detailed and they were going to show this much. I mean, we watch a lot of behind the scenes that they put on their YouTube channel a little bit for SummerSlams and Royal Rumbles and WrestleManias and any returns that are there. But this is like a complete breakdown of all the storylines, how much work they put in, how much discussions they have. And we get to see more characters, like a lot of people who are like producing matches behind the scenes. You got Bobby Roode producing matches. You got Abyss, a former TNA legend, producing matches. And you can see how much pressure they have. Like, they have a certain amount of time limit that they have to produce a match in. And they can't really do much because the talent is in the ring. And that was something that really caught me in the first episode. I was like, yeah, that's like super cool. It's like, it's a fun job. It's like, there's like a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that whole guerrilla experience was really cool. Like, just like the fact that they are so close to the action, making all of those calls, like you said, all of those names or those individuals that we, when we're consuming the wrestling content, would never have would hear from or see from. But just knowing that like those people have some of the, I would argue, a more important role than maybe the talent themselves, right?
For sure.
Because they are handling all the behind the scenes stuff, the timing, the making sure that the cameras are shooting the right thing. Like, and that's the crazy thing about storytelling is it's not just the people telling the story, but it's the people around that help tell that story, the camera angles, the producing, the length, the cutting things out to make sure that the storyline still goes with what the WWE wants. It's absolutely incredible.
Like, there's a lot of pressure. Like, those people, like the producers are talking to the production truck and they're talking to the referees in the ring. Because, for example, we saw in episode 1 on Netflix premiere, the Abyss was producing CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, which was the main event and they didn't have a lot of time. They had to cut some of the moves from the match.
But they still went long. Like, did you catch that part where it was like, I forget who exactly was the head guy, but he was...
Bruce Pritchard.
Exactly. And he's saying, like, oh, it's WWE on Netflix. Everybody thinks that now we've got all the time in the world, and that's just not how it goes. And then they cut to their first time where they, they have the opportunity to go long because it's the last match. It is the main event. You can't go longer than the main event. And they did. They went over 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And what we learned in WWE, like, that is the biggest no-no. And they kind of broke that rule on their first opportunity.
Yeah, you could really see Abyss was in like a lot of pressure there because
Yeah.
Bruce Pritchard was standing right beside him,
Absolutely.
telling him to wrap it up.
Yep.
And he can't really do much because it's all on CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and they eventually cut the match short. But you could hear Bruce Pritchard said everything was overproduced.
100%.
But then William Regal came to him and he was like, "Calm down, it's fine.
Yeah.
You could just be happy with yourself."
Was still a great match though.
It was
Like
a great
that's
match,
I think even though it went long, it was what it needed to be. I understand what they were saying about it being an overproduced match, but yeah, no, I think it was. I loved that match.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
there is some other stuff from the documentary that went viral, and one of them is Jey Uso and
Yeah.
Triple H pulling him on the side on the day of Royal Rumble. What'd you think about that? I mean, pulling him on the side, not really telling him that you're winning, but using some different terminologies. I think that was super cool.
yeah, that was really cool because you wonder how those conversations go when a guy is going to get that push or is going to become that next superstar, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that we got to be a fly on the wall for a conversation saying, hey, your life is essentially about to change. And, it's cool because in that kind of moment, we almost feel like that's us in that situation because that's a conversation that we're not supposed to be there to see. We're not supposed to be having. But the fact that we're getting to see that happen was, in my opinion, really, really cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was super cool because I'm not on that episode yet, but I saw it on social media and I was like, man, I can't wait to see this part in the documentary. It's like super cool. I mean, I didn't know they tell the talent on the day of the pay-per-view that they're winning. It's like super cool. I want to ask you because talking about like these things, like showing in the documentary that they're gonna tell the talent they're gonna win and all that. There's some people on social media, some streamers, some fans, they think the documentary is exposing WWE a bit too much. What are your thoughts about that?
I can completely understand where these people are coming from. Wrestling has been, up until this moment, a very, secretive, you don't show people these type of things kind of business, right? And they've always been that way. And I think whenever you see any sort of major change in a product or like a company in anything, you're always going to get that little bit of pushback. So again, I totally understand. People hold wrestling very special to their hearts.
For sure.
And again, I get it. But that being said, in my opinion, I don't think this did too much.
Yeah.
I stated off the bit, I'm in the boat where I really like seeing the, how the sausage is made kind of thing. Peeling back the curtains and getting to see the all that great stuff. That's kind of thing really intrigues me. And the fact that the WWE did look for this as an opportunity to share this and gain or grow their audience is something that I really, really appreciated. But again, I totally understand. Is it exposing the business too much? Maybe it might be, but do I think that it's hurting the business at all? No, not at all. It's doing the complete opposite. So I again, if people are asking, is it exposing it too much? Yeah, like I said, maybe, but I don't think that's the real question. The real question is does it hurt the business by exposing it too much? And in my opinion, no, not even remotely. What do you think, Faraz?
I agree with you. I think this documentary, I don't think it's exposing the business too much. I do get where those people are coming from. Maybe they don't want to see that much that the documentary is showing them, but I feel like this documentary is also an answer to those people who just talk smack about WWE all the time, that it's fake, why do you watch it, it's like there's no point, it's scripted. You can see like those kind of people, if they watch the documentary, they can see how much work and effort is put into producing one show, just one Raw or one SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's like building the set, to building the gorilla, making continuing the storylines, the writing, scripting, producing, and then the talent. For example, we saw Rhea Ripley got injured.
Yeah.
Like when Liv Morgan shoved her into the wall and she just dislocated her shoulder and she was out for action for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
That messed up the whole storyline.
Yeah.
And they have to come up with a new one.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job because it always like triggers me, like when people are just talking smack about wrestling and professional wrestling and WWE especially. It's like I feel like there's so much that they should know and they don't know about it. I think this documentary is an answer to that and those people.
Agreed. And like you said, like that, the bringing us behind the curtain on like the injuries and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
it also does a really good job at shining light on the talent as humans too, right? Like, you know, they have their in-ring personalities, but a lot of the time these people are not even remotely the same person when they leave that ring and behind the scenes stuff. And at the end of the day, injuries do happen. And that can be at the expense of somebody that you work with day in and day out, right? And this is there's a large safety concern when it comes to WWE, and if you're working with talent who does not prioritize your safety, then that can be a big concern, right? And a little off topic of the question, but again, I think this documentary did an absolutely incredible job at doing exactly what it was trying to do, which was bring people behind the curtains without exposing too much, and I think it nailed that.
Yeah. Moving towards our next question. You watched more episodes, I think. You're on episode 5 or 4. Is there anything that shocked you in the documentary so far?
I think the biggest thing that shocked me was some of the conversations and relationships that we were seeing like behind the scenes, like seeing like CM Punk and Seth Rollins be like semi-cordial was like really weird to me to watch. Seeing Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley like talking to each other, like smiling and everything is like, again, like I understand like for both of those pairs that I mentioned, they are people that are having to work together for extended periods of time. You know, Seth and CM Punk have had this feud since CM Punk came back, essentially, you know, veering out here and there, but there's always that storyline that they go back to. And same thing with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, right? And that can be because maybe they do work a little bit better behind the scenes than what we're seeing when the camera is rolling. But yeah, I would say that was the biggest thing that surprises me was just some of the relationships that we get to see unfold behind the scenes, like Rhea Ripley talking to Damian Priest while she's having a panic attack, going through like her match with Liv at the Raw on Netflix debut, right? Like just little things like that where it's like, again, like these people are human just like you and me, Faraz. They're just doing this thing that we love to watch, and that's why we hold them on this high pedestal. But yeah, that was kind of the biggest thing that shocked me. What was the biggest thing that shocked you?
Absolutely, I would agree with you. I think seeing these people without their characters and how they talk to each other backstage, I was going to say Rhea Ripley again. In episode 1, I saw when she's completely different in real life than her character, and as soon as her music hits, she just goes into a different zone. It's like chaotic and everything. Like it's Rhea Ripley. And her being, you can see like after the match against Liv Morgan, when she went backstage, she was like so humble, so quiet. She's just hugging Triple H, and Triple H just telling her, praising her and all that, and she's like super cool. Another question: do you think there's going to be a season 2 for this, or multiple seasons? Is this going to be a yearly thing now?
I don't know. At the end of the day, it comes down to money, right?
Yeah.
Like if this makes them money, and meaning that it draws more eyes means more merch. More merch means more money and talent and WWE's pockets, right? Like if this economically boosts the WWE again in all of those other things that I mentioned, then yeah, absolutely, I think they'll continue to do this. I think they will take in consideration the pushback that they've been getting, but I think a lot of that pushback that they were getting was before it came out, and now that it's out, people like you and I are going like, oh yeah, like this isn't even remotely what people were afraid of in terms of just bringing the curtain back too far, right? Like a prime example of that was there's a moment there where John Cena is clearly asked about his heel run, and he declines to answer because the heel run's not done, right? And that was something that was really interesting to me because I am watching that going, is he going to answer? Is he going to essentially spoil this for us, right? This thing that we are riding, that wave that is currently going along and is going to, you know, everything could change this weekend at SummerSlam, right? But I don't like. It just wasn't that. It wasn't spoiling anything. It was just shedding light on storylines or things that they wanted to do, didn't do, could have done, that is already in the past and didn't necessarily spoil anything moving forward. But essentially back to the question, do I think that they'll do a season 2? Yeah. The WWE loves money and Netflix loves money, and what better way than to continue to do stuff like this?
I agree with you. I think it's all about money. It's all about success. And I think this show and this collaboration with Netflix, I think, and it's going to they're going to do multiple. I think it's going to be a yearly thing now where they're going to cover all these big pay-per-views and Raws and SmackDowns, and they're going to just show us all that in the WWE Unreal. And I feel like our next question, you already answered it, is like, is there going to be more documentaries and more different kind of shows on Netflix with WWE? But you already answered it. It all depends on money and how successful it is, right?
Yeah, well, and I'll still answer the question is because, like,
sure.
Do I think that we'll see more shows or docs in Netflix in the future? Absolutely. Like, one of the things that keeps coming up that I hear repeatedly is a Diva series. A lot of those, I think, we talked about this on our previous podcast.
We did.
This women's division is probably some of the height that we've ever seen it, right?
Yeah.
It's maybe not the best in terms of, I think our OG Diva days might have been the peak, but if it's not that right now, we're damn close. And I think with being on a platform like Netflix and having the opportunity to run more shows like this, like 150%, I think Divas is just one that's going to scratch the surface. I think you could do stuff with maybe other audiences, like AAA audience, right? You could shine light there. You can, I think, the NXT
for sure
market would be something that if you shed light on that would only elevate that product. So yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that we should see more. What do you think? I
think two kind of shows that they can for sure come up with is for sure Total Divas that we saw previously in like 5-6 years ago when all the Bellas and AJ Lees and Paiges were the star cast of that show, just showing behind the scenes of the Divas and their division or the women's division. That can be one, and I feel like they have to do a show in NXT, NXT. Like you said, the talent is off the roof in NXT, women's or men, and how their division worked, because they come straight from the Performance Center to NXT, and some come from like different companies as well, like bigger stars like Stephanie Vaquera and Julia and all that. But like most of the talent is coming from the Performance Center. So I just want to see their journey from there to NXT, how they cope up with it, how Shawn Michaels, we want to see Shawn Michaels as well.
Yeah.
A big wrestling legend, how he works with these talents. We saw how Triple H is with the main guys on the main roster. So yeah, I feel like there should be more shows, and there will be more shows, including WWE Unreal. I feel like there will be multiple seasons of this as well.
Yeah, and like just a thought I was having, but like the Divas is like, imagine they do a Divas like very similar to what they did, but now like all of them are moms now. It's like exactly like what they did with like the Jersey Shore Family Vacation, right? Is you take something that people already loved and has some sort of nostalgia, and you bring back a similar, if not like same cast, like, but you throw in the Tiffany's, like the Tiffany Strattons, like you throw in the Stephanie Vicares, like but like you've got the Bellas, right? So it's like you've got the Natties, you could do something really cool. They have a really interesting opportunity to do something great there, and I think that's something that the fans would want, but the talent clearly wants as well.
All right, Logan, I think that's it for this bonus episode. It was lovely talking to you again. Love talking to you. Yeah. So we'll close out this show. Tune into our next episode. It will be post SummerSlam thoughts. we will have Raw after SummerSlam and anything else that's interesting in SummerSlam this weekend. We'll see you next week in the next episode. I'm Faraz Hashmi. This is Logan Brown. Goodbye.